Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Chi-Town Blue, here with another installment of the A-List Alert, coming on behalf of the Key S Expressions Publishing slash Multimedia Division. We are doing big things in the Midwest, you guys. This is a segment of A-List Alert entitled Shock Value, and guess who is on the runway today? First of all, if you are new to the channel, welcome aboard. Go below this video, hit like, share, subscribe, share with everybody, and thank you so much for being a part of this circle, this entertainment circle. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. You are a part of the 189.2 thousand views both in the US as well as overseas. Thank you so much, you guys. So let's get started. This is about former Green Bay Packer Brett Favre. Yes, sir, you are front and center. Just to give you guys a little bit of history on my interest in football, I was a former agent for DirecTV. I had to go on and know my programming, and one of the top programs out there for football was called the NFL Sunday Ticket. So yes, your girl did her due diligence to make sure that everybody enjoyed the programming. I was one of the top sales agents when it came to the NFL Sunday Ticket, and I also won the game ball for Colts number 21. So thank you so much to DirecTV. I love the commission. It was beautiful back then. Here is what we're talking about right now. Brett Favre is in some hot water, and Forbes magazine picked up on it from Mississippi Today Publishing as well. So I'm going to, you know what I do on this program, on this platform? I read to you guys educationally. If you didn't catch up on the story, here it is right now. Former Green Bay Packer quarterback and Hall of Fame Brett Favre has been accused of using his special access to former Mississippi Governor Philip Bryant and other officials in his home state in order to influence roughly $8 million in welfare payments for himself, pharmaceutical company Prevacus, and a volleyball court for the University of Southern Mississippi, according to an expose published last week, Mississippi Today. Though Favre has not been charged criminally or accused of a crime. OMG. Can you believe that? He has taken federal funding for his own personal use. This is a disgrace. Key facts. Newly unearthed text messages. Text messages, they hem you up every time. Newly unearthed text messages show Favre at the center of a scandal dating back to 2020, when a political appointee of the governor and nonprofit head, among others, were arrested for misusing federal welfare funds, some of which benefited Favre personally, as well as causes with which he was involved. Between 2016 and 2018, the not-for-profit Mississippi Community Education Center doled out $5 million allegedly at Favre's request to the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre attended and where his daughter also attended and played volleyball, to pay for a new volleyball court, according to Mississippi Today. The not-for-profit also paid him $1.1 million to promote a program called Families First. OMG. The funds mostly came from a federal welfare grant program administered by the Mississippi Department of Human Services, and both the head of non-for-profit and the former head of the MDHS have been charged with and pleaded not guilty to embezzlement and fraud for their roles in the scheme. Prevacus, a pharmaceutical company that was working on a concussion treatment, and which Favre was a top investor in, also allegedly received $2.15 million in allegedly stolen funds from the scheme, according to Mississippi Today. Proportion text obtained by Mississippi Today show that Favre and Prevacus founder Jake Van Landingham offered the governor and non-for-profit director shares of the Prevacus and offered to buy the head of MDHS a Ford F-150 Raptor truck in return for their help. The text messages also show a request from Favre asking members of the group to help pay a $1 million debt Favre owed to the University of Southern Mississippi for the volleyball court he promised the school. Favre declined to be interviewed by Mississippi Today and cannot be reached for comment by Forbes. And in 2020 tweeted that he loves Mississippi and I would never knowingly do anything to take away from those that need it the most. Critical quote. Hey brother, his wife, Deanna and I still owe $1.1 million on V-Ball. Favre texts John Davis, the former head of Mississippi Department Human Services, according to Mississippi Today. Any chance You&Nancy can help with that? They don't need it at the moment. You&Nancy stuck your neck out for me with Jake and Prevacus. I know that that's going to turn out very good, I believe. Wow. Bryant denied introducing Favre and Van Landingham to the non-for-profit director, Nancy knew. He also denied knowing Favre and Vander Landingham were receiving public funding for Prevacus through text messages suggested he knew. Though the text messages show Bryant accepted an offer to receive the Prevacus shares after he left office, Bryant told Mississippi Today he had no intention of accepting the stock. Up to $70 million was misspent in the scheme, according to Mississippi Today. In 2020, officials said the loss exceeds any embezzlement scheme in the records of the auditor's office. You stuck your neck out for me. Brett Favre used fame and favors to pull welfare dollars. Phil Bryant had no sights on a payout as welfare funds flowed to Brett Favre. So here's my feedback on this. This is a total disgrace to everybody who has supported this man in his endeavors as an athlete. First of all, I don't care what anybody says, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Sweetness, Brett Favre. You are in a role model position, just automatically. So you have all of these people who come from all walks of life to struggle. Some do, some don't. To sit in stadiums all over the globe to support what you do. And you have the audacity, he has the audacity to steal money from people, hardworking taxpayer people, mom and pop shop owned. Some of them are teachers. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them have disabled children and family members that they are responsible for. In Mississippi, you have taken advantage of that, being who you are and your status. I believe he did it. I believe that he deserves jail time for what he's done. It's a domino effect, and I labeled this a domino effect because what typically happens is that when someone steals from the government, they then put stumbling blocks in the place for people who really and truly need the help, and that stretches city to city, state to state. It does. It's a well-known fact. So Carlos King, and I bring this up because the domino effect even affects, Carlos King had a lady that was on his page that really dealt with losing her job, and she was bawling. Her video went viral and everybody was saying she lost her job because it was her fault. This is why this is a domino effect. Now that she's unemployed, do you think that it's going to be easier for her to get that government assistance, especially after what he did in Mississippi? It's going to trickle down to where she is. She's not going to have it easy. Prime example, whenever we go shopping, what happens in those department stores? Somebody steals, and what ends up happening? We talk about this in our barbershops and in our salons, on our lunch break. We talk about this. They're going to increase the prices to make up for the loss. Now, we are the ones, as taxpayers, shoppers, who have to eat that bill, and that's not fair. That's not fair to us. So that's exactly why I call this the domino effect. What you do in this life, be it bad or good, affects everybody. And it all comes with consequences. Consequences of Brett Favre's actions is going to trickle down to the average person. It is. And I thought about that. I thought about this lady who had to travel outside of her state in order to make sure that her kids have proper child care. Again, the domino effect. Why do you have to do that? And I thought about myself. I had to do that. I have 4 kids, and my children were visiting my ex, and for the summer. But the place that I was in, the pipes burst, so I couldn't stay there. I had exactly 2 months to find a job, find residence, and register my kids for school. I had to go out of state to do that. I had to leave one state because there were no prospects, travel to another state, land that job, and hope, God's grace and mercy, that they were going to be able to connect and I would be able to come back and have that employment and start my job in the other state that I was in. So it happens all the time. It shouldn't, but it does. So do I believe that this woman who lost her job should stay unemployed or should have a hard time with the TANF program because what Brett Favre did? No, I think it should be smooth sailing. I think she shouldn't get her job. I think that she should have kept her job. I think that they need to reinstate her employment because here it is. She's commendable. She's traveling out of state to make sure that her kids are safe. You know, she didn't leave them home alone. If she did that, then everybody would be calling CPS on her. She actually did her due diligence to travel to take her kids to another state for childcare. That way she could accommodate her job and the needs of the company. Most companies don't provide childcare on the premises. They should. For this particular situation, she should not be unemployed because I know firsthand what that's like to be on crunch time and have to reestablish yourself and do everything without any help. And unless you walked a mile in that situation, you can't possibly know what that's like. So I do believe, allegedly, if he is accused of these things, that he should be held accountable. All of his accolades, everything that he's accomplished, down the drain, down the toilet. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? So here is Wikipedia's information that I got from him. A lot of his accolades that he had as a I didn't even keep it. Oh my God, this is the wrong folder. I'm sorry. This is the wrong folder. You can go out to Wikipedia, look up his accolades. I believe that if he did this, all of his endorsements should be removed. His award should be revoked. All the things that you could possibly do to penalize him for what he has done. He should not be in jail or be held accountable for his actions. When you have text messages, you have other people's getting charged with different things, you should be held accountable for your actions as well. You have children. Why wouldn't you set a better example for them, of all people in the world, to do something like that? Well, I'm going to gloat. Never heard anybody from the Bears doing no stupid shit like that. Never heard Sweetness doing no stupid shit like that. Jordan gambling, okay, but never in the history of football have I ever heard anybody from the Bears, Chicago Bulls, White Sox doing anything remotely close to what he has done. He is a disgrace to NFL across the board, and he needs to have everything revoked. Titles, recognition, endorsements, all those things revoked. It's just what it is. It is what it is. And hopefully I won't hear anything about the Bears at all. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And remember, ladies, if you are a part of the Curve Nation, are we little girls? Hell no. So do we tap on doors? Hell no. If you are a part of the Curve Nation, ladies, remember to kick that bitch off the hinges. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.